Okay, so before this video starts, I actually did a little more research, which I should have done a long time ago. But that goes to show you, like I said, I'm not an active fan or watcher of this person. I just discovered them on Instagram. Turns out, as I suspected, this person actually has a YouTube channel, and they actually have less subscribers than I thought. I thought that I saw a post of them saying they had over 1 million, but they probably are just saying they had over 1 million views. The guy has less than 500,000 subscribers, so he's a big-ish creator, but relatively small considering how many people have 1 million plus subscribers nowadays. So, back on subject, my point still stands and remains the same. I'm tired of seeing the double standard where Japanese people can say things about American culture or American stuff, and even Americans would join in, poke fun at it, and laugh. But as an American, I can never talk down on Japan, even if what I'm saying is true. I'm met with, people opposing it and being defensive over it and accusing me of not understanding the culture, blah, blah, blah. This brings me to something that I want to make a whole video on, which I kind of did before. There's a white guy, I left his comment there. He has his own YouTube channel too. And he actually got upset at me over my friend's video about how it's difficult to make friends. And I talked about how Japanese people don't really see you as a friend, as a foreigner. For them, friendships are, the purpose is to use you. They either want to use you for free and easy sex or to get free and easy conversational English lessons without having to pay a tutor, and of course it's a more natural setting. And in some cases they want to do both. They want to fuck you and get free English. So of course the guy got upset and was saying, oh well, that's you trying to push your American values on them and you don't understand Japanese culture, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking like, wow, I wish I could give you like a weeboo badge through the internet or something. So back on subject, turns out this guy, Kevin, he is the guy with the glasses. He is actually someone that is Japanese but was born in the US. I figured that was it. And I guess because either he spent some time living there and clearly studying and or learning English naturally, he teaches English, although I don't believe he was born and raised in the US. I think he was literally just born there and plays up on that part of it because a lot of the stuff that he teaches is actually completely wrong and unnatural and grammatically incorrect, which is exactly why you don't see me on my channel trying to teach people how to speak Japanese because I'm well aware I am not qualified to do that. I still make mistakes now. So, back on subject. My point still remains the same. I just wanted to clarify that. This person has a YouTube channel, and on their YouTube channel, I will give them props. For the most part, I would argue that the majority of the videos are not malicious, negative stuff about the US, but it still remains the fact that the Instagram account is, so it doesn't change what's going on. Just wanted to clarify that, give him a fair chance, but now I also don't feel bad because I'm not attacking somebody with a small platform. But then again, why do I care about how big or small you are if your content is prejudiced, racist, reinforcing stereotypes, disrespectful, and again, the same people dishing it out would not be able to take it. And it's not just his comments, but rather the fact that he has an entire platform where he's encouraging other Japanese people to be prejudiced, racist, and stereotype Americans. Not just English speakers. He specifically says, this is how you say this in America. This is how you do this in America, whatever. So, I just got through watching this video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw pieces of it where he did a video on the difference between may I and can I. And that information was wrong too. People in the comments are wrong, and he's hearting and liking stuff that's actually incorrect. I'm not going to bother to comment there. My goal isn't to hate on him or even his people or whatever. I just find it really sad that people are this ignorant and stupid that they don't do their own research, learn things on their own, and not just listen to one person as though they're God. That's what I say even on my own channel. I've told you guys about this in my journals before, but I never want anybody that's, excuse me, I never want anybody that's up to me to view me as their god or something. Don't get it twisted with my username. This is my platform and channel to inform, encourage, and whatever, tell you stuff. But I will say this, when I do share stuff on my channel, like right now, so I'm doing this before this video gets published, I do my research. I speak on experience and my own life, what I've seen, what I've done, what my friends and family have. It's not random information that I just got from something random or something that I want to stereotype and make seem really cool or really crazy. If I wanted to make a quick buck, yeah, sure, I would do that. So, that's whatever. All I want to say is that I hate that it seems like the reverse tends to happen a lot. People that have been to the US, people that do speak English, etc., like to play up on stereotypes, exaggerate things, etc., be completely insensitive and ignorant But they cannot take that if you do it back to them in return. So I'm done. Just wanted to clarify. This person was born in the U.S. They are Japanese. To my understanding, they've been raised in Japan, which is why his English is not as good as it could be. And also why some of his teaching is, I want to say a lot of it. It's correct, where as an American I can understand you, but it's not correct as in, by hearing somebody say what he's teaching, I know you're not a native speaker because that's not how we talk in the U.S. So let me stop. I've been talking a lot today. My AC has been on. My voice is hoarse. Let's get into the video. Just wanted to clear that up before we get started. I did my research. I was a little bit wrong about this guy. All of his content is not just prejudice, racist stuff, but that content is still there on YouTube too. He still has stuff that falls into that category there too, but at least it's mixed in with more educational stuff that's not based on stereotyping and being racist, but rather showing difficult words for Japanese people to say, etc., which is good for me as an English teacher. I like seeing this. It teaches me some stuff that I can probably teach my students and correct with them myself, so I get some benefit and gain from it too. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm making 10 minutes to this intro. Sorry, just wanted to clarify that. Let's go. Hey, what's up? It's Comic95, the Savior, and for this video, I want to talk to you guys about something that's been bothering me for so long, which is something that I've said on this channel before, but the double standard with people, especially weeboos, white people, being afraid, black people, you too, of offending Japanese people or Asians in general. So I've said this on my channel before, but I'm going to say it again, and I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. Not sorry, but I'm going to say I'm sorry to be politically correct for 2 seconds. Asians are not minorities. They're the majority. Most of the world is Asian. Not white, but Asian. Yeah, keep that in mind. So secondly, I'm living in Asia. And third, I live in Japan, more specifically, where I am truly, once again, a minority, just like in the US. I'm not worried about hurting their feelings. Japan is one of, if not the richest Asian country. Not secondly, fourth, fifth, whatever number I'm on now, it's not a poor country. They compete with the US. They compete with the UK, Australia. This is not some sort of dumpster country where it's undeveloped. It seems like it at times, but it's not. Japan is rich. So now that that's out of the way, let's stop pretending like Japanese people don't have access to the same entertainment that we do. Not to mention, let me also put this into perspective for you. I've said this before too. I am not saying this because I'm an American. I'm keeping it real. They watch our entertainment more than they watch their own. And to be honest, this is probably true for the entire world. I haven't been to other countries, but I notice even when I talk to European people, etc. I mean, YouTube is American. So no matter what country you're living in, you're using our platform. So back on subject, I'm not trying to make this a war pitting country against country and saying that pitting countries against other countries or saying that America is the best, kind of are. But I'm not saying that. That's not the purpose in this video. But rather what I am saying is, I find it very interesting that I have never seen anyone complain about a Japanese person talking crap about the US, but if you say anything about Japan, even if your critique, criticism, whatever, your complaint is valid, it's met with hate. People see it as, oh, if you don't like it, leave, or, oh, you don't understand the culture, etc. But if an Asian person, specifically Japanese, Chinese, Korean, whatever in their home country, if they talk crap about the US, you will literally see Americans in the comments. That's so true. Yeah, we do that crap. Oh my God, I hate Americans to do that. You all turn into total sellouts. You never see Asian people do that, ever. Specifically born and raised Asians in their prospective home countries. I'm not talking about Asian Americans. You guys are American. I'm talking about Japanese and Chinese people born, raised, living entirely in those countries. Not people that were born in Japan but were raised in the US, or people that lived in Japan for 3 years, 5 years, even 10 years. If you were not born and raised in these countries, when I say Asian, I ain't referring to you. Okay, so let me talk about something specific. I never understood the term hate watching or lurking or whatever you want to call it until recently, because I find myself constantly watching videos from Kevin Samuels as well as this particular Instagrammer who I didn't want to give either of their names, but I'm going to say it, Kevin's Room. There's an Instagram page called Kevin's Room where there's this Japanese guy, 2 Japanese guys, One of them is a chubbier Japanese guy that's always wearing a black face mask for whatever reason. Maybe call them social distancing. I don't understand. Maybe it's them poking fun at the fact that Americans don't wear masks. For whatever reason, Kevin is not wearing a mask whenever he does. I'm not talking about they need to social distance. I'm just saying how to tell the two apart. And I'm assuming Kevin is the guy with the glasses. There's an Asian guy with glasses that speaks English fluently. He apparently spent some time abroad. I assume his accent is good. And I guess he considers himself to be an expert at English because not only does he think he knows English language, he literally has made an entire Instagram account with hundreds of thousands of followers, if I recall, at least 100,000 followers. And he's literally poking fun and making fun of Americans the way that they handle and go about doing things. So don't get me wrong, I'm not truly offended at that. I love comedy. I enjoy race jokes, even if they're about Black people. Those are some of the best ones, if you ask me. I listen to Black jokes, Asian jokes, white jokes, Hispanic jokes. I love them all. I love Dave Chappelle. That gives you an idea of my sense of humor. So with that said, that's not my issue. I'm not crying over that. I'm not being a snowflake over that, but rather I'm saying, why do we have a double standard? You guys act like snowflakes. Somebody talk about your culture. If we were to make a video making fun of how Japanese people go about doing stuff and talk about, how you all over apologize for stuff or how you're shy and weak and feminine and talk about the weird stuff you all do, it would be seen as bad. But this dude has a whole Instagram account making fun of the fact that Americans are fat and greedy, they're rude, they complain about everything. And even if you truly believe those things in your heart, keep in mind, I cannot do that about Japan. If you do that about them, then it's offensive. People, not just Japanese people, but other foreigners will get mad at you for doing it. But then you see people doing stuff like this. And so in this case, this is not cultural ignorance per se. This person speaks English fluently, and they probably studied abroad in the US because they have quite a lot of so-called knowledge. And some of the stuff they're saying is true and they're right, but again, is it appropriate to do? Is it still not racist? Is it not whatever? Think about that. And so keep in mind, this is American, not Black. We're talking about Americans in general. So if you live in the US, you're born and raised there, you are an American citizen, this is about you. So one of the videos that got to me, one of the first ones that got to me, was he did a video talking about what Japanese people think of when they think of spring. And so he named all of this cliche garbage stuff that fucking sucks, like talking about cherry blossoms and picnics, that, the other. And then when America came around, it was just like, oh, spring is, I don't remember what he said. So basically just talking about the weather changing, essentially. Like we have nothing to do during the springtime. And I'm thinking like, we have way more holidays than Japan does during the springtime and way more to look forward to. Are you freaking kidding me? We have Memorial Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day. The list goes on. You really think that all we think about is, oh my God, look, Japan has all of this stuff. And it's like, Japan doesn't. The only thing y'all have going on for y'all is y'all get 2 weeks of a fucking pink tree that sometimes doesn't even bloom properly because it's freaking raining and windy during that time. You sit on dirty blue tarp that's never been cleaned since you bought that 10 years ago under crowded trees with a ghetto, outdated 1980s radio, singing garbage karaoke songs with garbage convenience store crap that you bought, sitting back to back with people on a tarp, waiting for a spot to be next to a tree. You're going to be 30 feet away from one with 5,000 people in your background. Yeah, that's so great to look forward to. Y'all don't have shit for y'all springtime. But again, I can't say that. I'd be seen as a hater because foreigners love cherry blossoms. You all love taking pictures of them and bragging. And don't get me wrong, it's photogenic. It's cute to take pictures of it. I like pink. I like nature. Totally understand. But I can also be real with you. After having been in Japan for about 5 years, it's boring as fuck. You see it. It's nice to take a picture every time. Don't get me wrong. But the actual experience is not fun. Don't let people fool you on Instagram. Even myself. Don't get me wrong. If I see a cherry blossom tree, I'm going to snap a picture of that hoe. But I'll be real with you. I am not going to sit there under that damn tree for no 6 hours because it's boring as fuck. There ain't shit to do. Why do I want to eat food on the ground with fucking roaches? Because Japan got roaches everywhere. Big ass centipedes and deadly insects and Asian wasps and crap like that. I don't want to sit outside with that. And this hot ass, humid ass sun. No. So, once again, Exaggeration to make everything in Japan look perfect, great. Look at how fun and much better we are than you. But anytime they talk about the US or other countries, they have to remind you, look at how bad and crappy and whatever this is. You will never see them make a video talking about the pros to America, the things that are better in America. But they don't mind, this particular page, he's not alone, but I'm using him as an example. They don't mind talking about the negative things. So on top of that, let me also add, when I say hate watching, I don't go around leaving negative comments on anybody's stuff. I don't even bother to dislike. I just sometimes watch people's stuff to get information and see how people are thinking and feeling, even though I disagree. It's nice to see different sides. You shouldn't always want to watch and listen to people that agree with you 100%. And it's not a matter of disagreeing, but rather it's disrespectful, for lack of a better term. So he did another post joking about how Asians are supposed to look young. Showed a girl that, had the other Japanese guy who is only speaking in Japanese. I don't think he speaks English, possibly. Looks at the photos and says, oh, how old is she? 12? Exaggeration, of course. She doesn't look. She's 12 years old. But the dumb Japanese people in the comments think that, oh, this is real. They really do think that this girl looks like she's a fucking kid. Does she look young? Well, yeah, sure. She's dressed like a kid, which is borderline pedophilia, if you ask me, which I don't mind. Hey, I'm not talking about like that. Let me rephrase that. I don't mind cosplay and costumes looking like an anime character, which is the kawaii fashion style, etc. However, the problem with this is Asians literally have in their mind that everybody thinks they look super young, and not all of y'all look young. And on top of that, let me also add, the same thing is said about Black people. But you guys are too busy being full of it up here. You don't know about those stereotypes, do you? The only stereotypes you guys know about is Black people have, big dicks is where it ends for you guys, and a fat ass. That's it. You don't know about the looking young part. I will also add that for the Asians that do look young, the only reason why I would even consider saying that some of them look younger in comparison is that unlike Black people, most Asians are not overweight, specifically in Japan. I'm not going to speak on China, but specifically in Japan. I even say in China, I think on average, Chinese people, Asians in general, do not weigh as much as Americans. I'm not talking about the number on the scale, but in proportion to your body, because Americans, their bodies are built differently. We hold our weight differently. When I say this, I am excluding Asian Americans, so sorry. We hold our weight differently, Black and white people, and even Hispanic people, than Japanese, East Asians, whatever you want to call it, people do. So this video ain't really going anywhere. It just really tickles me that not only is this person ignorant and basically making racist videos, but the people in the comments really be believing him. So he did another one. Oh, wait, so let me get back on that one. See how with the girl, the Japanese guy guessed that she's 24, 25, and then Kevin plays as the white guy, presumably. He assumes that, she must be like 12. She's a kid. And so, of course, people in the comments are bragging about how people think they're so young, whatever. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater. Some of y'all really do look good and young for your age. I'm not gonna hate. But at the same time, it's like, you guys aren't the only ones. And unless this person's really stupid or just being nice to compliment you, I doubt that even a white person is going to guess that you're 12 or 13. I get it. It's supposed to be an exaggeration. But the problem is when you're exaggerating to a country that doesn't do sarcasm, a country that believes in stereotypes, that stuff gets believed. And the comment section on his videos, his little posts that he does on Instagram, prove my point. To add on to that, he did another post. So beyond the spring one that I won't lie, that one triggered me. I actually left a comment on that one. In English, of course, but the one that triggered me more recently was, he did a video where, I did this on my channel before, I talked about this. So where he showed going to a restaurant and getting a hair in his food. And the staff basically, was not the staff, the customer, the Japanese guy with the black mask, saw it as being, nasty, but didn't make a big deal about it. The American sees it, takes a photo of it, calls over the waiter and tells them to fix this or, give them a full refund or they're going to expose them to the internet, blah, blah, blah. And part of me is like, okay, funny, haha. I will admit Americans can be bad customers. That's one thing that I did like about being here in Japan. We do complain about too much and we are a little bit unrealistic. Mistakes and accidents do happen. However, what I don't like about being in Japan is, I'm sorry, if I get a fucking roach in my food, remember I told you that story about the girl that had a roach in her water? Or if I get a hair in my food, I paid fucking money for this. I worked for that shit. I don't want to eat something that your hair is inside of. I wouldn't even want to eat it for when I get hair for myself and my food, I want to throw it away. You're telling me that I should be okay with sweaty, nasty, dirty hair from somebody that doesn't wash their hands when they come out the bathroom, that digs in their ear, picks their nose, scratches their ass. I'm not kidding you. Japanese people do this all the time. I'm not being racist. I'm being 100% honest. If you live in Japan, you've seen them do it. I'm supposed to be okay with that. You probably ran your hands all through your hair. Your hair might not even been washed. I'm supposed to be okay with eating food that had your hair in it? Restaurants make thousands of dollars, oftentimes a day. It's too much for me to ask you to make me another plate. I'm paying you for this. I don't agree with going off and losing it on people, but that's actually completely reasonable. I went to the store just in time. I think it's raining outside, and I just went to the convenience store. Sorry to get off subject. But yeah, so again, part of me gets it because that's something that irritated me too as somebody that worked retail. But at the same time, it's like, your country has it set up where you can't complain about nothing in Japan. If someone is touching you, someone's harassing you, someone's bullying you, power harassment, school, work, anything on the street, if you say anything, you're seen as the problem because now you're disturbing the peace because you didn't handle it yourself. You think that's healthy to do? That's brag worthy? Another example of a post. Did one talking about, going to the US and getting a drink, shows a guy having, a singular bottle of Coke, and then the other guy pulls out a whole big old thing of Coca-Cola for his drink by itself. No American drinks a whole damn 2 or 3 liter by themselves. That's not how we eat or drink. There are people in the comments talking about how they went to the US and they had movie night and they had their whole pint of ice cream. Each person had their own pint of ice cream to eat out of by themselves. I highly doubt that happened. But if it did happen, that is definitely not normal in a US household. You might have your own individual cup of ice cream, like a bowl, single serving, which is bigger than Japan's single serving that you would get. But don't nobody have no whole tub of ice cream to, not even just one person. I'm not talking about living alone. The whole family had that. Come on. And then people in the comments really be believing this and shocked by this stuff, etc. People saying racist stuff like, yeah, leave it to the American to complain about everything, blah, blah, blah. All of these racist, hate-filled comments. It's literally a gold mine. Gold mine of nationalistic, racist, prejudice, whatever type stuff. And this is the issue. Japanese people already know so little about other countries in the world. And now you have people that know a little bit of English and think they're experts on the culture, teaching people incorrect stuff. Like, at least if you're going to talk about cons or whatever, make jokes about it, at least know your stuff. Don't make up and exaggerate stuff. For example, I can be totally real when I talk about y'all. Y'all don't wash y'all hands when y'all come out the bathroom. I can literally set up a camera just at the sink, and it will show you how few people go to the sink. For the ones that go to the sink, 2 seconds, shh, done. Or shh, flick. This is after the pandemic started. Nothing's changed. You see a few more people washing their hands a little bit longer. Okay, can't sit next to foreigners. Don't want to stand next to them. Don't want to be too close to them. But you don't even have soap in your bathrooms or hot water 90% of the time. You don't have soap 90% of the time. You don't have hot water 99% of the time. And you don't want to use the little bit of water you do have access to clean what germs you can clean? Golly. So, I'm done. I can go on forever, but I suggest you guys check out that page. You can even follow it if you want to. I know I'm bringing him traffic that I would rather not give him, but I want you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about. This is just a small example of what I mean. They do it too. They have whole TV shows. At least when I'm telling you stuff, I'm warning you about what to look out for. I'm telling you why I don't like Japanese stuff or even Japanese people. But when they do it, it's just purely out of, look, we're better than you. We're going to joke about this. I'd be telling y'all real. I made a video about roaches, and people were literally in the comments getting upset over it, talking about, well, maybe it's just your experience, just your house, just your restaurant. That's not normal here. This is so clean. This is whatever. Okay. But if a Japanese person did it, went to some trap house in the hood in New York, and was showing you all the roaches everywhere, etc., you'd be like, oh my God, I can't stand dirty American like that. Yeah, there's people that live like this, blah, blah, blah. You'd be right under their nutsack. You can't wait to kiss their ass. You see nothing wrong with it. Interesting. Okay. So I'm done. All I'm saying is it's a really stupid double standard. They can get away with saying, doing whatever they want to other countries, other ethnicities, other whatever, and we brush it off, we ignore it. But somebody does them wrong, somebody says they don't like something about their culture, their country, their people, their whatever. Not only do Japanese people get defensive, they can't take jokes and criticism about themselves, but foreigners jump in and defend them too. I don't get it. Again, I've made videos like this in the past, but I want to give you guys a prime example of it. So don't get me wrong, some of it is interesting to see the cultural differences and how we handle stuff. But my problem is that it's not made clear that this is just a joke and exaggeration. It's literally making it clear to these people in the comments, look at how bad, rude, awful, disrespectful, weird Americans are. Look at how nice, kind, polite, humble, modest Japanese people are. And they go around believing this stuff. When I made my video talking about the 100 questions, that's what I mean by that. I was asking those same stupid questions in reverse. They ask you so many questions about, why are you in Japan? You like this, right? You like that, right? Japanese people are perfect, right? We're friendly, right? We're nice, right? We're this and the other, right? We're so polite, right? No, the fuck y'all aren't. I can see right through all of that bullshit. Japanese people, like, you want to talk about problems? They have the biggest mental health issues. I'm going to make a video about that too, but y'all can't forgive people for nothing. You cross a Japanese person, that is the end of your relationship. You done. So I'm finished, done with this rant. All I gotta say is I can't stand that little stupid double standard. If they can talk about us, make jokes about us, exaggerate without explaining it's an exaggeration, because he don't even have to put a disclaimer. He talks about it like it's factual. It's just humor, it's fine. If we do that, you're the bad guy. You're in their country, their culture. Be respectful. But you can come to my country and say crap about it and joke about it and misinform people, because there's tons of other stupid Japanese people in the comment sections that have never been abroad, can't afford to go abroad, can't speak a lick of English, but they're listening to his video and like, oh, this is what they're like. This is how they act. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I've never seen a collective group of people that are so sensitive, protective of people saying stuff about them, because they're really, really concerned about how people perceive them. But they have no problem projecting their stereotypes on you. I cannot tell you how many times I've been told backhanded compliments, ignorant things. From, I expected you to be loud, to you're strong physically, to you're strong as in you have a high alcohol tolerance, to your obsession and like for sex and easiness, all of this crazy stuff. You say anything like that about them, they get angry. They defend it. They want to over-explain to you. But we do it. Oh, you're just the exception to the rule. They go back to believing that stereotype. You're just the one person that doesn't do that. But everybody else in America is a whore. You're just the one person that's quiet. Everybody else in America is loud, outgoing, and ghetto and ratchet. Okay, cool. So y'all have fun licking Japan's, boo-boo stains like a toilet bit it. But as for me, nope. This is why I criticize them. That's why I judge them. I say exactly how it is when I feel like it, except I speak true stuff. I talk about real situations. I don't have to exaggerate to you and pretend like things that don't happen are happening. When I talk about the bathroom situation, that's real. When I talk about the bug situation, that's real. When I talk about people here not speaking up about being victims of the R word and things like that, that's real. People being hushed and shamed for being assaulted, that's real. Power harassment, that's real. Suicide, that's real. I don't have to lie about stuff to get laughs and jokes and followers and money. I can be real and genuinely inform people, but they can't do that. They're so stupid and full of themselves. They really believe these things too. It's not just for laughs and jokes. They really believe this is what most people are like. Because sure, if you tell them, oh, not everybody's like that, they're like, well, yeah, sure, there's an exception to the rule, but most people are like this. Some of the stuff where most people are like that, it's like, you should feel upset. Like I said, any normal person, even Japanese, should feel upset if there's hair in your food. Who wants to eat dirty food? From a stranger at that. It's bad enough these people are cooking your food without using hot water, without using soap. often without gloves, picking their nose, digging in their ear, and touching their hair, rubbing their eyes, mouth, and nose with their hands. And now I gotta eat your hair too and be humble about that? You think that's something to be proud and prideful of, that you're not gonna complain about not getting satisfactory service? That's brag-worthy? Okay, then sign me up for being an American then, because I don't go around hating on people and being evil to them. I get it, mistakes and accidents happen, but I don't believe in being cheated. You can't tell the restaurant, oh, I didn't bring all my money with me, so I'll just put a few dollars down on the tab. Somebody else is going to buy some food, so you'll make back the money, right? No, they're not going to serve me. Okay, well, if I'm paying for this food, the picture on this, menu don't show no hair in it. I didn't pay for that. Make me a new plate. Simple as that. As a restaurant, you should want to do that. But these people, he's right. They will legitimately feel like, what? Why I gotta make you new food? Just take the hair out of it. Girl that had the roach in her water. She did actually get a refund though, but it's probably because she made a scene and embarrassed them. That should have been automatic for them to do. How do you serve somebody a drink with a bug in it and you don't see it? And a Japanese roach. They roaches are huge. Even if it was a small one, it doesn't matter. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in restaurants in Japan that have roaches. I lived in Chicago in the US, and I have never seen a roach in a restaurant or a rat in my life. Never. I've seen a fly. I've seen an ant. They will close that hole down in the US. In Japan, nope, it's just expected. There's food here. Eat your food fast so a roach don't lay eggs in it. That's how y'all treat it. That's normal. A lot of y'all want to complain about stuff. You've just been taught not to do it. That's why when the R word happen or trained ticklers come after you, y'all be looking stupid as hell because y'all have been taught, don't say anything, don't complain, handle it yourself. That's why y'all can't control y'all anger. That's why y'all can't forgive people. Y'all don't know how to deal with your emotions and feelings. Y'all used to people abusing you. Working unpaid hours. Doing all type of crazy mess for people that don't love you, don't care about you, etc. So, I'm done with this video. It's going on too long. No hate to these people personally, but I'm just showing you, look at the double standard. Watch the stuff that they do. Look at what they're saying. And they're joking about it too. So at least for me, I'm giving you all real advice. I'm telling you what things I really like. These people are taking American situations, misinform people, because you don't even know the holidays in springtime. Because I'm sorry, like I said, imagine if we had a holiday in the US, which I'm sure we have a fake day for it, but a real national holiday called Pine Tree Day. And we just sit on blankets outside under freaking pine cones. Even if you found that to be exciting, do you really look forward to that every year? How many times can you do that during the springtime before it gets old? Imagine if the US only had one holiday during the spring. Nothing else that we did. Let's not even make it a good holiday. No offense, but I gotta say, let's make it St. Patrick's Day. That's the only thing we have to look forward to. And unlike how it's celebrated now, let's say for St. Patrick's Day, the only thing we do is wear green and have a picnic. 2 weeks of wearing green and picnics. Sounds cool at first, right? But then what about the rest of spring? Is that really that fun? That's exactly what Hanamis are. Normally, you're not going to go on a picnic every day. You're probably going to do 1, 2, maybe 3 for the duration of spring. That's it. Imagine doing that every year for all of your life. It gets old. You don't care anymore. You can't do this every day. And it's weather pending too. Because not only will the rain stop you from having a picnic, rain and wind gets rid of the cherry blossoms. They fall. They're fragile. I can't stand that stuff. So I'm done. I'm finished. I'm done with my rant. That's all I got to say. Check them out. Check them out. See what I'm talking about. So I'm finished. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And let me know what you think. You enjoyed my video. Give me a like. You want to argue, disagree, tell me what you think in the comments. And I hope you will consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Comic95. You can add me on Snapchat at Comic the Savior and check out my blog at comic95.com. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.